Fnaf 3 as a game is just so weird to me. Like, there's phantoms, new systems to use, and lastly, the map just sucks. Like, what even is this? So in honour of my hatred towards Fnaf 3, I've taken it upon myself to entirely redesign the game while adding new and exciting features and characters to spicing it all up. Enjoy! First of all, we need to take care of the map, since the current map has many flaws. Like, basically every room being some sort of corridor, and Springtrap can just waltz his way through this corridor here and just completely miss this one out. Scott, what were you thinking? Oh, now I see. That's a cool Easter egg, I guess. Anyways, if we're wanting to fix this map, let's use earlier maps for reference. Take Fnaf 1 for example. The map has animatronics spawn at the furthest end to you in a big room. And this big room is basically the centre of the whole map, with every other room branching off it into their own area, such as the supply closet, kitchen and parts and services. You then have the hallways that branch off the main area that lead to the toilets and office respectively. Fnaf 3 has none of this. Instead, everywhere is a corridor leading to your office. The way we can fix this while still staying true to the building being a horror attraction is simple. Taking inspiration from the Fnaf 1 map, we can space the map out a lot more by adding a main room in the middle and then having hallways branch out and attach to other rooms like the office. For my redesign of the map, I implemented a few hallways branching out to the office. As you can see, this L-shaped hallway connects to the main area and also the hallway above it, meaning that there's two different pathways for Springtrap to go without having any unnecessary hallways in the building, as they both have a pathway to the office, something Fnaf 3 didn't do. That's all I really have to say about the main map layout, but what about the vents? Well, as for the vents, I mostly kept them the same because I don't think they have any flaws. The only things I changed was that the vent near Cam 10 is shorter and faces down instead of to the right like it does in Fnaf 3. I don't really need to speak about the other vents since I mostly kept them the same. As you can see, the vent that connects Cam 5 to the window outside the office is there, and so are the vents that connect from Cam 7 and 1, with the only change being that the vent opening at the top of the map connects to Cam 8 instead of 9. Now that we've redesigned the map and kept some of the more important parts, it's time to move on to the characters. The new feature you see in Fnaf 3 is the maintenance panel. This is a panel seen to your left that will reboot any systems that have shut down. To start off with 3 systems, we have the audio devices. This is a button which appears on the camera that, when pressed, mimics the voice of Balloon Boy. This voice can be used as a lure to bring Springtrap to any cameras that you activate the audio device on. It's also worth noting that activating the audio device on a camera that's not immediately near Springtrap won't make him go to that specific camera, so only use the audio lure on cameras that are near him. For our second system, we have the camera systems. This system allows you to view the cameras, and this system will fail and need rebooting quite often. If you don't reboot it, you won't be able to see the visuals on the camera and it will be replaced with static until you reboot it. Not rebooting means that it's harder to keep track of Springtrap. The last system is the ventilation system. This system is important because if it shuts down and you fail to reboot it for a while, you'll start to hallucinate the phantom animatronics, which we'll get into next chapter. If these phantoms jump scare you, they will cause more system shutdowns, so make sure you reboot the system when you notice it's shut down. Now that we've covered all 3 systems and how they work, I'd like to introduce one of my own, this being the power system. The power system is simple. It would allow the building to be lit up, and when this system shuts down, the light in the office would go out, making you more prone to seeing Phantom Golden Freddy on the cameras, a character I'll go more into depth with in chapter 3. The way this power system would go down is by Phantom Bonnie, yet another character I'll go more in depth with later. On Cam 6 would be a power grid that Phantom Bonnie would interact with that will cause a power outage. The way to avoid this will be by simply rebooting the power system that will appear in the maintenance panel, or by switching cameras when you spot Phantom Bonnie in Cam 6 messing with it, as it will have the same effect as switching cameras on Balloon Boy with avoiding the jump scare altogether. The only small thing I'd like to change before I move on is that all system reboots will take 6 seconds each, but if you choose to reboot all, instead of this option taking 18 seconds with all 4 systems rebooting, it would take 16 seconds. Now that we have a good idea of a new power system, let's add some characters that will utilise it well. Now that we have a bigger map and new systems to play with, I think we should add more phantoms to the game and link how they work with the new map and systems. The only phantoms that I could think of adding is Phantom Bonnie, since fun fact, he doesn't appear in Fnaf 3 at all, and Phantom Golden Freddy, since I think it would be fun to add him as a somewhat rare character that would need to be avoided, otherwise the night will become a lot more difficult. Before I get into the new additions to the Phantoms, I should state that all old Phantoms in Fnaf 3 and Springtrap himself will largely remain the same with the way they work and with the types of systems they each interrupt, just so things don't get too confusing, and I also think the way that the Phantoms disrupt the night, making it easier for Springtrap to get you, is quite unique. For our first new addition to the Phantoms, we have Phantom Bonnie, which would use his Fnaf 2 appearance. What's unique about this character is that if he's spotted and the player fails to switch cameras in time, which will be around 1.5 seconds, Phantom Bonnie won't jump scare the player directly, but instead jump scare the camera which you usually would appear in, which would be camera 6. Once Bonnie jump scares you, you will receive a power system error, as Bonnie has mangled with the power grid. The only way to fix this error is by rebooting the power system on the maintenance panel. If you don't do this, you'd be in danger of seeing Phantom Golden Freddy on the camera, which is another new addition I'll get into now. Phantom Golden Freddy would use the same model as a normal Phantom Freddy, but missing his eyes and an arm. Phantom Golden Freddy would be a decently rare character to experience naturally, with a chance of 1 in 200 to appear. However, when a power system error is present, the chances of seeing him on any of the cameras would go from 1 in 200 to 1 in 50. The way Phantom Golden Freddy would work is quite simple. Once you see him on the cams either by a rare chance or during a power system error, your entire camera's view will be blocked on every cam by him, making it harder to find Springtrap. This will not only give you a camera system error, but it would also force you to reboot the power system error you refused to earlier. When these errors are rebooted, Phantom Golden Freddy will be gone. So that's my redesign of Fnaf 3. If you want to see me redesign another Fnaf game, well, comment down below which one I should do. Anyways, I've been Squeaksy, and I'll see you soon.